Hey everyone, Uli Salazar, Manager of Marketing and Artist Relations for Ludwig Drums. And I'm excited to have my friends from Long and McQuade here at the Ludwig booth to take a tour of what's new for 2020. So behind me, we have two Classic Oak kits. Classic Oak is a series relaunch for us based off of Keystone X Series drums. We took that very nice shell formula that people love about Keystone drums and gave them a more classic sort of setup, upgrading the claws to the classic die-cast claws here, and coming out with some really cool, unique stained finishes. This is our smoke stained finish that is stained over oak wood, and then we have our Tennessee whiskey stained finish. And the classic oak shell formula is a 5-ply shell, 3-ply maple core with a ply of oak on the inside and outside. It's available in the standard configurations. You see a fab configuration in the smoke here and a Proby configuration here in the Tennessee whiskey. But what's really cool about classic oak is that you can configure a wide variety of sizes through our new Ludwig outfitter, which is something you couldn't do with Keystone X in the past. So you can choose from a wide range of snare drums, tom-toms, floor toms, and bass drums, along with a bunch of different hardware options, mini classic lugs, large classic lugs, club lugs even, different brackets, different spur types. So you could really put together a true custom configured kit that's very personalized to your style, your sound, and the way you want it to operate. So let's move along and take a look at some classic maple drums. So here we are standing in front of a really unique example of classic maple. And going back to the point I made about the outfitter with classic oak, you got a ton of options now as well, and a lot of that flexibility through the outfitter for classic maple, legacy mahogany, and legacy maple. Here's a unique classic maple build out with the original twin club date lug, and it's also featuring our new Diablo red finish that is available on classic maple and legacy maple. The really cool thing and unique thing about this classic maple build out is that it uses one of 3 available bearing edges now for classic maple. Classic maple has always had a standard 45-degree bearing edge, and we've included 2 new bearing edges that you can select from when building out your custom classic maple. You can choose a full roundover bearing edge, which is what's featured on this kit, or a double 45-degree bearing edge. So depending on the sound that you're trying to craft, you really have that variety and that flexibility through the new Ludwig outfitter. This kit is a 14x20 bass drum, 8x12 rack, 14x14 floor, 16x16 floor with a 4x14 piccolo and a 6x13 auxiliary snare. Super sharp looking, a lot of classic vibes going on here with some classic brackets, classic spurs, and things like that. So we can take a look at one of our other new solid paint finishes and another unique classic maple build out. Let's check it out. So here we are in front of another unique example of a classic maple build in our new vintage bronze mist finish. This is actually a take on a finish that was offered in the early 60s for a short period of time with Club Date Series drums. We sort of zeroed in on that kind of color and that tone and carried over some of the traditional components with it with this gold sparkle inlay. All of the old vintage bronze mist kits had that same contrast. So we preserved that with this reissue of vintage bronze mist. And what makes this build out really unique is that through the outfitter we were able to choose, again, one of the 3 bearing edges offered. This one is actually built out as a double 45. And we got some really unique sizes as well as showcasing some additional options with a concert tom as well. So you can select a double-headed tom or a concert tom through the outfitters. So this is a 12x20 bass drum, a shallower depth, 8x12 rack, pretty traditional. But then you got here a 13x14 floor tom, and right next to that you have a 14x15 floor tom, and it's made complete with a 5x14 matching snare drum, and then you have a 7x10 concert tom to sort of throw in some unique auxiliary options around the kit, which is really cool. So check out the Ludwig outfitter. Long and McQuade has an awesome selection of classic maple kits, a lot of standard options, but be sure to ask about what you can create to really personalize your own unique sound. And here we are taking a look at our newest option for NeuSonic series drums, which is our Step Up Pro line of drums made in Monroe, North Carolina. NeuSonic is a crossover shell design. You got 3-ply cherry on the inside and 3-ply maple on the outside. And this is a very special kit. This is NeuSonic in our new digital black oyster finish. This is actually playing off of the color scale in Black Oyster, sort of that grayscale vibe. But we wanted to put a contemporary twist on it, and I think we achieved that here with the digital Black Oyster. This is a 3-piece shell pack that is traditional fab sizes, a 14 by 22 bass drum, 9 by 13 rack tom, and a 16 by 16 floor tom. It's special edition, and so it's got our special edition badge. It's going to be for 2020 production only. And this is a very unique look, a very unique configuration, especially for NeuSonic, as our traditional outfits are 22, 12, 16. So this kind of gives you a lot of the classic footprint sonically with this outfit, but a very fresh new look that's got a lot of classic undertones with it as well. So be sure to check it out. They are shipping as soon as possible. So be sure to check out with your local shop, give it a try, see what it has to offer sonically. It definitely has a really cool look. So here we are in front of the latest finish to be offered for the Breakbeats line of drums. Breakbeats is a collaboration between Ludwig and legendary roots drummer Amir Questlove Thompson, who's also the drummer for the Tonight Show band with Jimmy Fallon. And the Breakbeat series drums was built for the Metropolitan Professional. It's a small footprint, it packs a lot of tone, and it is very lightweight, very easy to transport, very easy to keep set up in small apartments and small rehearsal rooms and things like that. This is a really great utility kit with a ton of tone and very easy to travel with. This is our new Sahara swirl finish. It's got a really classic oyster kind of vibe to it. It's got a really unique texture that gives it a lot of a metallic sort of reflection to it. Yeah, so it's a very great sound, and we're offering some additional great looks to go along with it. All right, here we are taking a look at Ludwig's Element Evolution series. This is an all-inclusive kit for intermediate level drummers. So if you're a drummer looking for that next step up in drum set and quality and performance, Element Evolution is a great package for you. It's a 5-piece shell pack that's outfitted with 2 convertible boom stands, hi-hat stand, snare drum stand, pedal, and stool. It's all double brace hardware, super sturdy, very reliable. This is our new gold sparkle finish in the 20-inch outfit. It also has Remo pinstripe heads. And then we also have our new emerald green sparkle finish in the 22 configuration, which is 22, 10, 12, 16 with a matching 5x14 snare drum. So if you're looking for a really great quality kit, something with really reliable and quality type hardware and a really good sound, the Ludwig Element Evolution is one you want to consider. All right, here we are at everyone's favorite destination at the Ludwig booth, our snare drums. Got a lot of new exciting snare drums releasing this year. We stripped down the Black Beauty 2 lugs, and now we have a 8-lug model Black Beauty snare drum in traditional sizes, 5x14 and 6.5x14. So this is going to be a standard option in the Black Beauty product line category. And the 8-lug configuration brings out a little bit more low end, rounds out the sound a little bit more, adds a little bit of focus as well. So definitely an interesting tonal option for those of you that like that brass tone but want a little bit more body and control to the drum. The 8-lug setup is definitely something to take a look at. Also new and special edition for 2020 is the pewter over copper snare drum. We took our copperphonic alloy and plated it in a really cool pewter finish. It's got this kind of gunmetal type color to it, really unique brushed look with our special edition badge. This is going to be limited to the year, to this year's production only. And it's available in the standard sizes, 5x14 and 6.5x14. It's a 10-lug configuration. The copper alloy's got some interesting sonic qualities to it. It's a very dry and focused type of sound, really dark tones to it as well. But with the copper plating, it does do something very interesting to the sound. It adds a little bit more of a chime to the resonance, kind of adds a little brightness to it. So a very interesting sounding drum and an interesting look as well. Very classic Ludwig. Last year we introduced the reissue of a famous jazz festival snare drum, and we had it offered in four vintage type colors. And this year we decided to open it up with a few more color options traditional to the 60s, like blue sparkle, sky blue pearl, white marine pearl, and silver sparkle. It's still available in the original 4 colors. We released it, vintage black oyster, vintage blue, mod orange, and black galaxy. But yeah, it's the 5.5 depth by 14 legacy mahogany shell with the 64 snare bed, vintage style, 3-step tone control, and our P88 throw-off 8-lug configuration as well. A lot of body to this drum, great mid-range crack to it as well. These will be shipping out right away, so check them out if you see them at your local Long and McQuade stores. At our final stop here, taking a look at Speed Series pedals, and we are happy to announce the return of an icon. The Ludwig Speed King makes a return in much of its original format, original look, with some really cool modern upgrades. We got sealed bearings down at the hinge connection there. Brought it back with the polished silver finish. We also updated the tolerances in the linkage and the thickness and the quality of the steel that we use, so it's not bending like older Speed King models were known to do. It's got a new key clip on the underside frame there that'll have our newly designed key head drum key. We also preserved the original Speed King beater format and spec. Still got your spring tension access there underneath the pedal. We filled in the toe clamp with a little bit more material so that it would clamp on to the bass drum hoop much firmly so that it doesn't slip. And also by filling that in quite a bit, it sort of helps minimize the rash and the indentations that you would get from clamping a lot of your older Speed King pedals. We added some grip here to minimize hoop rash. Definitely want to preserve the paint and finish on your hoops, so that's going to help quite a bit. Comes packaged in this really awesome retro style box. Little folding box here, top lid, another quality product from Ludwig Drums. That's the Speed King reissue here. It also comes packaged in this really cool cotton drawstring bag. Obviously, like the old Speed King, collapses super easy, so it's easy to transport. One of the cool features about the Speed King pedal with the upgrades that we made with the sealed bearings is that it takes it from being a 1-stroke flow playing pedal to a 3-stroke flow. So it's got a much more, a much smoother feel to it, enhancing the performance and the power of the pedal. It really feels like a natural extension of your foot, quite honestly, of your leg. It doesn't have the resistance and the stiffness that the older pedals have, and it's also not too loose either. You know, a lot of times some of these direct drive type pedals just are a little too easy and buttery to play, and that works for a lot of drummers. But the Speed King preserves some really unique performance qualities that I think still work for a lot of drummers, both classic and modern. Let's take a look at the new Speed Flyer pedal. This is our new Pro pedal that we're offering, the Speed Flyer, in our new Battleship gray finish here on the towers and the side board there. Improved a lot of the performance and speed and power of this pedal. It's got a 13 flow oscillation to it or more. That comes from the sealed bearings here at the hinge connection. You got 3 points of adjustment here on this pedal. You could adjust the footboard angle here through our new anti-slip cam. It's got some markings there as well, some index markings. And it also clicks as you move it back and forth to sort of give you a guide of how far you need to go, how far you need to pull back to get the right setting that you need. You also have the index markings for the beater angle adjustment there on the other side. And your third point of adjustment is the height of the screw, which basically plays with the tension of the spring. It's got a bearing there. A lot of smooth play, smooth feel on this guy here. It has our newly improved toe clamp that has a new rubber grip on the bottom there. The really unique thing about our toe clamp here, it's a double-sided toe clamp actually, and the purpose of that is to help seat this pedal onto a variety of different diameter bass drum hoops. So one side accommodates a much more even placement behind diameter sizes 18 and 20, or 18 through 22, and then you flip it over and you get a little bit more usage and better placement on bass drums larger, like 24 and up. This also has our new wing bolt, very smooth, ergonomic type shape, easy to operate, easy on the fingers, very comfortable. And you'll notice that our particular pedal's got a much sleeker profile and frame. That helps just seat it to a variety of different style of bass drums without any issues. It's easy to get this behind an 18-inch or 20-inch diameter bass drum without being too cumbersome and too difficult to position in the right place. And it's easy to travel with, so it takes up very little little space in your hardware case, things like that. It does come with our new drum key, newly improved drum key, and then you got our some heritage items here on the pedal, like our olive script logo and the olive keystone. And finally, on this pedal, we have updated the beater on this, and we based it off of the Speed King beater. It's the same thickness in felt, and it's weighted just under 6 grams. It's got our new laser edge keystone index on here. And these will be hitting stores come springtime, about April. So there you have it, Speed Series pedals by Ludwig. Thanks for tuning in to Ludwig What's New 2020.
Thanks for watching. To be notified of more videos from our trip to NAMM this year, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon. Leave a comment or question below and check out our video playlist of all the latest and greatest products at NAMM.